Welcome. It's good to have everybody here. This is a great day for Southern Bank. I think it's a great day as a citizen and longtime business person in Rocky Mount. It's a great day for downtown Rocky Mount as well. So we're excited to be here for this event. On behalf of Southern Bank, our entire management team, local and corporate, we're gathered here today to break ground on a new 15,000 square foot facility. We were hoping to start construction a few months ago, but the weather didn't cooperate. But I think our contractor's going to get started tomorrow, and you should start seeing some movement here. I do want to recognize a few people that are here today. I try not to leave anybody out, so I've been trying to survey the area. If I do, I apologize. Gray Morgan, our chairman and CEO, he will make some comments in just a minute. Drew Covert, our bank president. John Pegram, Mac McSorley, and Julian Aycock, who are members of our corporate board, are here with us today. We're glad they're here also. Members of our Southern Bank leadership group are here. Members of our Rocky Mount Advisory Board. You're very important to us, and we're glad you were able to be here. The emeritus ones, Dr. Parrott, as well as the active ones. Members of the Rocky Mount City Council. There are several here, I think. Thank y'all for being here. Mayor Combs, City Manager Charles Penny, and members of their staff that are with us today. I do want to give special thanks to you all. We would not be here at this point if it wasn't for the support of the city that they've given us throughout our whole evaluation process. So we thank you, Charles, and thank you, Mayor, and thank you, City Council. Any other business leaders, civic leaders, and community leaders, we thank you for being here as well. I want to acknowledge one person that is not here today, and I think Gray may make some comments, but the former chairman of our executive committee of Southern Bank, Frank Holden, he had the vision for us being here today. We've talked about this for about 3 years in our evaluation process. He had a passion for downtown Rocky Mount and Rocky Mount overall, and he kept us on pace with that vision. So he's not here with us today, but we thank him for his contribution. Couple quick comments. Southern Bank started in 1901. Started in Mount Olive, North Carolina with $10,000 invested by 17 local business people. Over the last 114 years, we've grown to nearly $2.3 billion. We've got 67 offices in North Carolina and Virginia, and we employ over 600 employees. The good thing for this region is in the Twin County area, we've got over 100 employees of those 600. So Rocky Mount and Nash and Edgecombe County are very important to us. Our new Rocky Mount facility will be among the largest facilities in our footprint. It'll provide regional operational support for our future growth within our bank. It'll house our mortgage operations, which is currently housed in this facility over here, as well as our call center, which is located down the street. We'll consolidate all into this footprint. Upon completion of that next year, hopefully, we will start renovation of this building, and we'll move our regional and local leadership for the Twin Counties into that facility next door. So we're going to kind of build a campus feel here. The walls will come down, and we'll have kind of a joined shared parking lot, and hopefully it should come together. It looks good on paper, and I think it's going to be good for Rocky Mount in downtown, especially as you're coming in on Sunset or on Church Street. I have been in Rocky Mount for about 30 years. I've been in the banking business for 30 years, and most of that time have been in Rocky Mount. A large portion of it has been in downtown Rocky Mount. I have observed the decline of our downtown area over that 30-year period. However, investments that have been made for redevelopment in the last 10 years by our city leaders on the train station project, I do remember that, Charles. That was the first one. The Imperial Center, the Douglas Block, streetscape project over on Main Street, I think that's provided the groundwork for future development in our downtown. And I think it's going to help us as we rebound off this great recession that we're all coming out of. Our facility here, if I'm not mistaken, and I've been here a long time, will probably be the first private new construction in downtown in the Central Business District in over 20 years. So we're very excited about that. We're excited about the future in Rocky Mount and the Twin Counties, and I think we're very bullish about this area, and we're excited, and we think the best is yet to come. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to call on Gray Morgan to make a few comments, and then Mayor Combs is going to make a few comments, and we will finish it off with Robbie Davis, who's chairman of our local board and is a county commissioner, is going to make a few comments. So thank you for being here. Great.
Good morning. Thank you for coming out on this beautiful day. It's a lot of good things are going on around this downtown area, and we're glad to be a part of it. Would like to, as Mike has already mentioned, our employees, our advisory board members, and certainly several of our board of directors, but the customers. Thank you so much. I mean, since we came to this market in 1993, this market has shown our bank so much support, so much confidence, and we can't thank you enough for that. Today, I'm proud to say that Rocky Mount is the largest city in terms of loans and deposits that we serve in our North Carolina footprint. So it's very special to our bank, it's very meaningful to our bank, and we're just so excited to be a part of this market. As Mike mentioned, this planning for this structure has been going on for several years. We've had numerous meetings, we've had a lot of conversations, we've made a lot of trips to Rocky Mount. I think I've ridden on most of your main roads throughout the city, trying to find the exact location. Mike alluded to Frank Holding was in the back seat of that Buick on most of those trips. And many of you know Mr. Holding, a great guy, great banker, and had such a love and has such a love and admiration of this community. But we would look and we would get out and we would walk around and we would pace it off. And is this big enough? Well, is this street, does this give us the everything that we need for the building? But we always migrated back to this one location. And the reason for that is because what really drew us there, we wanted to be a part of this excitement that is going on in this downtown area, this restoration project that's going on. And my hat's off, and because I know that is not an easy thing to do. I'm from a small town about an hour east of here, and I understand there's a lot of challenges and there's a lot of headwind to get something like that going and build that momentum and keeping that momentum going. But it's so special when you start seeing the results spring up from all of those efforts. So hopefully our facility here will enhance those efforts, and I think you will continue to attract other people who want to be a part of this excitement. As Mike mentioned, we have a lot going on, Southern Bank does in Rocky Mount. In addition to the 80 employees, I think 80 plus employees we have right here in the city, we've got 4 branches. We've got our AMS Mortgage Center located next door. Our call center, Sandra McCorkadale is back there, and Sandra's in the mortgage in the call center, and she's got to wear so many hats, sometimes she probably forgets which one she's wearing, but does a tremendous job. Our cash management operations, our commercial business unit, and our regional headquarters, all in Rocky Mount, and all would be in part of this area here. And I certainly have got to thank our employees and the staff that we have in this market. I think our employees in this market are second to none. They are passionate about serving their customers, and that's what banking is all about. I mean, we build pretty buildings thanks to Robbie over here. He feels like I feel like he's on the staff sometime, but he's really done a tremendous job for us, and I think when he gets through with this, it will look even better than what the pictures look. But getting back to our employees, banking is about people. We're in the people business. And, you know, any success that we ever have will be directly related to the level of service that we give our customers. So our employees understand that. We come to work every day wondering about how we can do something different, how we can better serve our customers. And I hope you see that. And as I always say, anywhere I go, if you're a customer of Southern Bank, thank you so much for your confidence. Thank you for your business. If you're not a customer, you're a prospect. And we want to invite you and to learn more about our business. Let us tell you our story. Let us tell you how we operate. I think you'll like the way we do business. Now, I will leave in saying this, a beautiful building that is about to we'll begin on in just a few days. But we hope you see this as more than just a pretty building. We hope you see this as a testimony from Southern Bank of our commitment to Rocky Mount. And we also hope that you see that it is the confidence that we have in our future in this market. A lot of good things are in store for not only Southern Bank, but for all of the people and the businesses in this community, and we're just glad to be a part of that excitement. Thank you.
Thank you, Gray, and thank you, Mike, for being here today, and thank you for inviting me. And I'm here on behalf of the city because this is an initiative that the Rocky Mount City Council has been involved in for many years now, and that's the downtown redevelopment. I can remember when I was a city council member, I had conversations with people that if they'd have had their way, we would have bulldozed downtown Rocky Mount. I mean, they didn't think anybody would ever come back and do business in downtown Rocky Mount. Well, we're here today to prove them wrong. This is a great private investment in downtown Rocky Mount. If you go across a railroad track, Edgecombe Community College, which again has a campus in Tarboro, chose to build their Allied Health Science building in downtown Rocky Mount, an investment of about $12 or $13 million. And with these two projects here, it just reinforces the fact that people are going to continue to invest in downtown Rocky Mount. The governor was here 2 or 3 weeks ago. We met at the Brew Mill project, but we toured downtown Rocky Mount, and his words were, he has a hard time recruiting businesses to cities that don't have a vision for their downtown area. We have a vision for downtown Rocky Mount, and we're continuing to work on that on a daily basis. Southern Bank could have located this anywhere in the Rocky Mount area. They could have taken it out of Rocky Mount, but they chose to stay in Rocky Mount, and I want to thank them for their continued investment. Hopefully you'll take that back to Mr. Holden. I've met him a number of times, and I think our city manager said one day, unexpected, he just showed up at City Hall, was up on the 5th floor looking around, looking, I guess, at downtown Rocky Mount. And so I think he is somebody like many people that grew up in eastern North Carolina, appreciate the fact that their downtown areas is where their commerce were. It's where you went for whether it was shoes or shirts or whatever you wanted. When I was growing up here, this is where my mother took me shopping when we needed something. So it's across the state, across the nation. I've said this, I was in a meeting in Asheville not too long ago with 32 other mayors, and every single one of those mayors had projects in their downtown area. They're all renovating their downtown areas. So this is not just Rocky Mount, it's an initiative across the state and across the nation where cities are continuing to invest in their downtown areas. So it's a great day for the city of Rocky Mount. I want to thank all of you for being here today. I want to thank Southern Bank, not just for doing business here, but they're also community supporters in so many different ways to so many different organizations. And that's important in a city like Rocky Mount, that we have business here, but not just the business, but businesses that give back to the community. And on behalf of the city of Rocky Mount, I'd like to present something to Gray and Mike at this time. And it just says, City of Rocky Mount, North Carolina, presented to Southern Bank on the occasion of their groundbreaking at 100 South Church Street, with our sincere best wishes, signed by me, but we want you to hang this in your bank, and we appreciate your investment, and thank you so much. And obviously, as always, if the city can help you, I do want to make one other comment. We've partnered with them because we're now the new owners of their banking facilities right across here. Absolutely. It made the transition for them pretty smooth, but we needed it. We had already put it in our long-range capital plan. If you've ever gone down to City Hall at different times of the month, you just see long lines of traffic, people coming out of the building because the lines to pay utility bills are so long. We're going to be able to transition. We got people in different locations that we can consolidate them in the Southern Bank building that's across from City Hall now. So this has truly been a partnership. They're going to lease it back from the city. We're their landlords now for 2 years, which gives them the ability to continue to operate and make this move pretty smooth. So we want to thank them. It was a good for us. It was good for them. And again, on behalf of the city of Rocky Mount, thank you for being here.
Thanks, appreciate it. Thank you. First thing I'd like to do, Mike mentioned our local board, and I'd like to recognize the members that are here this morning because it's our job to bring in those potential customers that Greg spoke about. That's what we're charged with. We're charged to be the ears and eyes of the community. And I appreciate everybody that our local board has been able to bring in as customers, and that's what we do every day. First of all, as said myself, Larry McAdams is vice chair. I thought I saw Larry come in. I do see him. Larry, please raise your hand. Bob Barnes is on the board. I do not think I saw Bob come in. Jeff Batts, I saw Jeff come in. Jeff, thank you for being here this morning. Reuben Blackwell sent me an email last night that he was out of town. He also serves on our board as well as, of course, the city council. Gary Fazio, I do not believe I saw come in. Dr. Blair Harrell. Right, I did see Doc. Doc, thank you for being here. One of our best realtors in town, Janet Watson, has been with us a long time. I saw her. Good morning, Janet. Dr. Susie Watson, I do not think I saw her come in. Dr. Richard Hunt. And Gene Kitchen is our newest board member. Gene, glad to have you here this morning. And did my dear friend Reed Parrott get in? There he is. He told me yesterday he'd be here. He is on our emeritus board and still comes to most things we do. We're glad to have you here this morning. Also, I'd like to recognize the team that we used here. We used local architect and engineer. We were very fortunate to be able to do that. Oakley and Associates was our architect on here, and I believe I saw David Griffin somewhere in the crowd. There he is way at the back. Tim and Ann, I understand, got delayed out of town. I saw an email a little earlier. And then Matt Gay and Associates did our site engineering. I'm not sure if anybody from Matt Gay and Associates is here this morning or not. We certainly appreciate all the work that they've done. They probably got a little frustrated with the team that worked on this because we did change our mind a time or two during the process, as we always do. As Mike said, to get where we are this morning, ready to start, it has been a long road. And it started really long, probably before Mike, and I know before Gray realized it did. Back shortly after we moved to Southern from First Citizens or changed our name, which was in about 2000, I was on the First Citizens board at that time and moved over. And Reed, I'm sure you remember this trip down to Smithfield that day. We got this wise idea. Reed, myself, and Dennis Eatman, who was our board chairman then, that we were going to just show up in Smithfield and talk to Mr. Holden about moving the headquarters to Rocky Mount. He was very gracious. He didn't run us out of his office. He actually took us to lunch that day. He listened very attentive like he always does. And he said, guys, I'll get back with you in a couple of days. Didn't laugh at us, but that's what we went down there to make happen. And we knew we were a long shot to be able to pull it off, but you never get anything if you don't try. Had a great lunch with him that day in a little, I call it a hole in the wall there in Smithfield. I'm sure the rest of y'all know where that is. That go down there quite frequently. But in a couple of days, indeed, he did call us. He said, guys, I appreciate the visit. He said, I don't think I can do what you asked, but I will promise this. As we do other things in the bank, regardless of what it is, Rocky Mount will be first on the list to be considered to be put here. And he's held true to that statement that he made to us 15 years ago, because the mortgage loan, it came here, call centers here, and all the things that we named. So I don't think the trip was wasted by any part at all, because we did get a name in the hat, and it has been very, what you say, Greg?
You got everything but the corporate sign.
Got everything but the corporate sign. That's great. It sure is. As they said, we did look numerous places in Rocky Mount, and what they did, they'd get in the car and ride around and find somewhere, and then they'd call us, and Jason and my son in the back there, and I would have to take that site, see if it would fit, crunch the numbers on it, and tell them where they would be on that particular site. And then a week later, somebody come down here and go look at another site, and that went on for quite a while. I think finally when Mr. Holding came, he zeroed in and said it would be downtown. And of course, Mr. Penny, you know, we started another location downtown looking to start with. And then we decided, apparently, as I heard them say a while ago, Mr. Holden started here, and he generally ends up where he started at. So we came right back here. I think it was a great decision. I had Mike and I both struggled with it a little bit to start with, but apparently a contractor doesn't have much vision, and some bankers may not have much vision, but it's going to be great when we get through with it. It's going to be, as they said, a campus-type atmosphere. We were able to negotiate and buy the existing bank that was here, buy the print shop, take those down, and it has opened it up. It has made it a very good site. And just to tie it all together and have all our people in one location has got to work much smoother moving forward. On behalf of the bank, I'd also like to say how much we appreciate the city of Rocky Mount working with us and taking a building on Franklin Street that has really made it come together very well. I also want to talk about one other thing that the bank has allowed us to do as the contractor. We talked about this, and Kurt, are you still here? Kurt Scott. Kurt Scott back here is head of our men's fellowship home for Nash and Edgecombe County, which is just around the corner over here. And we talked to Kurt when we knew we were going to come downtown a little while back. And for y'all that know what we do down at the men's Christian fellowship home, it's a halfway house, basically is what it is. And we take those people and work them back into the community that have had some type of addiction problems or problems in the past. And one requirement that they have to be in school or have to be working every day. They just can't sit at the house. So what we're going to do is partner with them. We have a lot of good tradesmen come through there, a lot of good carpenters come through there. And by being downtown, being the location we're in, they can actually walk to work, which will be very convenient for them. So we're going to do our best to utilize as many of those people residing in the house as we can over the next couple of years been down here. And I think it would just be a win-win for the community, for the bank, and quite frankly, for our construction company as well. So we are looking forward to be able to doing that. And Kurt, I appreciate you working with us on that and the fine job you've done down there for many years. In closing, I'll just say what's good for banks is good for the country. This was said in a film in 1939, Stagecoach, by Dudley Nicholas. I also believe what's good for bank is good for not only the country, but for the counties, Nash and Edgecombe, and good for the city of Rocky Mount. And I'm really thankful that Southern Bank chose to put this facility in Rocky Mount somewhere, and now that it's going to be downtown, I think it's just going to be great for all concerned. And as we grow the bank, we certainly hope the downtown grows with it, because as I said, what's good for banks is also good for the country.